everyone, it's James from Keeping It Anime, and today I'll be giving you my top 5 characters from RWBY. Now, RWBY is a TV series made by Rooster Teeth, and it has a load of amazing characters within the series. But I thought it would be a fun idea to give you my top 5 favourite characters for me personally. Now, a quick disclaimer before the video starts. I just want to mention that if my favourite characters don't end up being your favourite characters, then don't get bent out of shape about it. Instead, let me know who your favourite characters are and why down in the comment section below. And so with that little thing out the way, let's get started then, shall we? So, at number 5. At number 5 we have a brand new character straight in from volume 6, and that is Maria Calavera. So why do I like Maria so much? Maria, the thing that makes me like Maria as a character more than the other characters is the mystery surrounding her character. So I like a character that we don't get told everything about. We're left to speculate, we're left to kind of guess almost. And Maria is one of those characters because although we find out a lot in volume 6, we don't find out everything. For example, we don't know her semblance still, but we know that when she was younger, she was a known as the Grim Reaper as a huntress, and feared by many. She was a silver-eyed maiden, or warrior, whatever you want to call her, that wields 2 scythes that have a gravitational sort of dust mechanism in them. Basically, they attract and link together. It's pretty cool. If I ever wanted a weapon, I would certainly want those weapons. That would be my first pick, if I'm perfectly honest with you guys. Because they're just amazing. And she had a brilliant fight scene in that flashback. When we were being told about her and her traits as being the Grim Reaper, we were told that she, again, is a very capable character, and we saw that in the fight. The amazing fight of her versus Tok, was it? The Farness that had invincibility for like 1 minute. And my god, the way she lost her eyes was just brutal. So, Maria's character, for me, is my 5th favourite character from RWBY. Okay, so let's move swiftly on to number 4. At number 4 we have Nora Valkyrie. Now Nora is one of those wild cards. You either really like the character or you just don't like her at all. Her personality is what gets me though. I love the fact that she's quite jolly, carefree, happy, enthusiastic, all those good positive things. However, mess with Ren and she go crazy on you. She really will go crazy. She's based off of Thor, so her using a giant hammer is quite ironic almost, but it fits the character nicely. I love the way her battle style sort of is implemented to the fights, the way she just likes to smash things, as well as the fact is it transforms into a grenade launcher, which is pretty cool, and I love the way that she propels through the air using her hammer. I found that quite a unique thing that was in earlier volumes, but you don't quite see it nowadays, which is a bit of a shame. That's pretty much all I got to say for Nora, really. I mean, I just love the personality and, you know, the switch she can just flip on when she wants to be like a crazy psycho. And if you want proof of that, then go back to the Cordovan fight in volume 6, where she's like, "Give me back my man," you know? It says it itself. Well, she says it herself. You know what I mean. So Nora Valkyrie, you get number 4. Right then, moving on to 3rd place, the bronze medal, we have Crow Bronwyn. Now, Crow would be higher on this list, but due to the lack of things that he does and what he does in volume 6, I gotta put him down a bit. Now, I don't mind dubs every now and again. Sometimes they have brilliant voice acting, sometimes they're really cringy. But Crow's voice actor hit it perfectly. Crow's voice actor fits the character amazingly. Now, I know that from the time of recording this video, Crow doesn't have a voice actor, but I'm hoping that Vic will come back, because it just wouldn't be Crow without him. And that's one of the reasons why I like Crow as a character, because the voice actor is, you know, perfect for the job. Another reason as to why I like Crow is his abilities and sort of powers almost. I love the fact that his semblance is bad luck, and the fact that you can speculate that it could flip over the other way so he could have positive luck. I've heard some people talk about that. It's quite an interesting one. But let's look at what he has at the moment. So his bad luck is possibly a bad thing, but he turns it into a good thing. Like, he utilises that brilliantly for himself and for his enemies. If you want a reference, go back to the fight he has with Tyrion. That was actually one of my favourite fights in RWBY, because it showcases just how much of an experienced fighter Crow really is. And it's an amazing fight. Again, like I said, he uses it against his opponents, although it mostly works against him. Quite bad if you're trying to make a plan, but what are you going to do? The ability to transform into a crow, ironic I know, is still a pretty good one. I like the idea that he can transform and then attack. He uses it in Volume 6, I think he might use it in Volume 5, I can't remember, but it's a nice skill to have, and he does use it quite a bit, so that's pretty good. Another reason why I like Crow, I like any character that uses a scythe. Well, nearly every character. Most of them are pretty cool. And his weapon is no exception. It's a scythe, a sword, and a gun. Like, what more do you want? And the design for the weapon is fantastic. It works with Crow's sort of fighting style really nicely. It flows brilliantly. I just like it overall, really. So Crow, you get number 3. Now, number 2. Number 2, we have the main character, RWBY. Now, Ruby Rose is a character that I do really enjoy. And sometimes she might even be number 1 on the list. So, she changes with the female character that's at number 1. And the reason why I like RWBY so much is her character progression. When I watch a series, I like to see a character evolve. I like to see him go from something and bloom into something else. I find that process really sort of... I get a lot of enjoyment out of it, basically. And having RWBY start off as a nervous, shy individual, and we see it now in Volume 6 being a capable, strong leader, I just really like it. It's fun to see. Battle-wise, she has some very unique and good abilities. I love anything to do with speed, and her semblance is just that. The visuals for her semblance are just breathtaking. They're, you know, I love the fact that the cloak kind of goes around her and petals fly off. I think that's just great. She uses a scythe again, I know, a running theme, but she utilises it in a brilliant way. Same as all the other characters that have got scythes. And what makes that kind of unique to her is that she was trained by Crow. And Crow was trained / self-taught based on Maria. But they all have their own unique spin on their fighting styles. And I love that. It's all great, and RWBY is no exception. She has quite possibly some of the best fights in the show, some of the best lines in the show. Well, she's a silver-eyed warrior as well, so that's another thing that we get to see her develop and grow using. As well as the fact is, her personality is a little bit like Nora's. She's quite carefree and quite lively, but when she has to be, she's very serious. And we see that, especially throughout Volume 6 and 5. So RWBY, you're brilliant, and you get to stay at number 2, for now at least anyway. You might go number 1. Okay, so, a few honourable mentions before I tell you my favourite character in the series of RWBY. So, just to name 5, we've got Oscar, Arspin, Raven, Cinder, and I'm going to throw Emerald in because she's a bit of a wild card. I kind of like Emerald as a character, but I think she has a lot of potential to do a lot more than what she has done. So she's a bit of a loose one, but that was poor phrasing. Very, very poor phrasing. She's a bit of a loose character in terms of sort of placing her onto a list, because she just has a potential to be a better character than what she already is. Okay, so that all aside, let's go for the number one. So my favourite character in the series of RWBY is Penny. Now, Penny for me is a fantastic character. She has that awkward personality that you just don't know how to take with her character, as well as the fact is she's very lively, both in the RWBY version and in the original version, normal version obviously. And as you already know, I like my characters to be quite happy, quite jolly. I do like depressing and sort of dark characters, but for this show, not really. As well as the fact is, her sort of reveal of being a mecha was done brilliantly. I love the fact that it was just out of like nowhere she was hit by a truck and you know, she was fine. You're just left with like, what just happened? Did she get hit? And I don't know, I found that pretty good. Her abilities are amazing as well. The way she uses her blades, I don't think we have a correct name yet, so I'm just going to refer to it as blade dance. I find that sort of very unique, and I like it. She's copying, well, no, Urza copied her, but it works fantastically. And when she first used it against the White Fang members, it was cool. I liked it. Now, Penny's death. I firmly believe that they'll bring her back in Volume 7, because, you know, she was made in Atlas, and they're at Atlas at the minute. But let's talk about the death in particular. The death in particular, for me, was better and more impactful than the Pyrrha death scene. I'm sorry I'm going to trigger a lot of people by saying that. I don't like Pyrrha very much, and her death wasn't really that sort of impactful to me. Like, okay, I was probably like, whoa, okay, that was cool, I suppose. But Penny's death scene was a lot more sort of saddening for me, and I just want her back, really. She's a great character. And she'll continue to be a great character. I love her design as well. It matches her character perfectly. Again, voice acting wise, all these characters on this list have brilliant voice actors that suit them, and Penny is no exception. She has, you know, just a perfect voice for the character, same as RWBY. Same as Crow, same as Nora. You know, and Maria, obviously. I can't imagine any one of those characters being voiced by a different person. So Penny, for me, is my favourite character in the whole series of RWBY. Now it's up to you guys in the comment section below to tell me who your favourite character is, and let me know why. Make a discussion down in the comments below, and I'll be sure to chime in with my response. Other than that, guys, if you liked the video, smash that like button, subscribe if you're new so you never miss a video from me, and until next time, keep it anime.